Welcome back to the channel, everybody. This is Chris's Collectible Corner, and for those of you who are new, thank you for coming through to tune in for this review. And today we're taking a look at Baseball Boy 01A by Kamione, also known as Wink Wink Tonsenart. But before we get into the figure itself, if you wouldn't mind, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notification to be notified when new reviews are uploaded to the channel. It really helps and I appreciate the support. Alright, so before we talk about the packaging, some of you may know and others may not, but about a month ago, Tonsenart made an announcement via their IG that Tonsen Studio has been dissolved. Now, for those of you that may know this is pretty common practice for third-party companies, just in case to avoid any legal action that may be levied against them by Tamashii themselves, because they're technically making bootlegs of an IP that they do not own. So what they'll do is they'll use a pseudonym in order to present themselves under a new name, but it's still the same company or the same people as before, just rebranded under a different name. And the reason why some of us know that this is a Tonsenart figure is because there were already images being leaked of this figure way before Tonsen had made that announcement that their studio was going to be dissolved. So it's no coincidence that this new figure is now coming out under this new studio's name, even though we had leaked production photos of this figure being in the works. Now, with that out the way, taking a look at the packaging, as you can see, we have a kind of reddish brown color for the box. We have a nice black and white kind of image of the just generic anime looking baseball boy. A little window we can actually see the figure itself, and then along the sides you see the new brand Kamione, and then as you can see along the back we just have a more close-up blown up image of kind of like a three-quarter view of the baseball boy that's inside this packaging. But this is not the only box that this figure comes with. It also comes with this box. And this is the second box that holds all the accessories along with the metal bicycle that comes with this figure. So enough about the packaging and the back history. Let's get this guy out the box and take a closer look at him. Alright, and there we have him. Everyone's favorite anime character, Baseball Boy 01A from the hit anime series Baseball. I'm joking. This is obviously a generic head in order to like pass it off as something else. And look, I will say that generic head looks pretty good for what it is. You know, it has a nice hat. It's a very standard, basic, generic anime face. And you know what? For the level of detail that they gave to it, looks pretty nice. Now, that out the way, looking at the body and the proportions, I decided to go with this model instead of the one that's more true color-wise to the one in the manga cover, just because I felt these colors were a bit more unique and not colors that we really see on Dragon Ball figures. He has these olive green, kind of brownish pants, these blue socks, red boots, and then kind of like a charcoal bluish black jacket, along with some olive colored gloves to match the pants that had these little red designs on the back of the hands. And then of course we have his little vest that I'll show you guys in a little bit. And overall, I think it looks pretty nice. The design that they chose to go with the torso this time around with this track jacket suit is pretty interesting, and we're going to see how that kind of moves and works when we get into the articulation. But as you can see, the legs, he copied them exactly from his Bojack trunks, which are exactly the same, and I like these legs a lot. I wish these were the legs Tamashii would have given us with the future trunks that they had given us before, but he has these weird like little like thigh pieces that go right up. I don't know, I just think this looks a little bit better and a cleaner look. Enough of this generic anime guy. Let's switch him up and turn him into something else a little bit more familiar that I think we all recognize. Boom, and there we have him, the man of the hour, Son Goku. So, the cat's out the bag. This is not a baseball boy. This is Goku, and this is a variant of Goku that is made in tribute to that manga cover that I showed you guys earlier. And I'll just say straight off the top, I really like how this Goku's head sculpt looks like. I think they nailed the facial expression. I really like the little single strands of hair that they have also poking through the big chunks of hair. I don't know, I just feel like it gives it more dimension and volume. And I also really like the slight eyebrow raise and expression that this Goku has. But he's not complete yet, so let's put the whole thing together and give him his vest. And here is the complete look. Goku with his orange vest, the black tracksuit, gloves, olive green pants, and red boots. I don't really like this look. The vest is actually a cloth material, so you don't have to worry about that hindering any of the articulation. It works exactly as supposed to, and I feel like it just adds a nice different layer and texture throughout the figure that kind of breaks it up, especially with the orange. It really pops against all these colors. Now, taking a look at the accessories, this Goku comes with 2 head sculpts, and as you can see, we have 2 unique facial expressions. And man, I just really love the face plates that come with this guy. They're really expressive, and I feel like they really capture Goku's essence and his look. I feel like before in the past, we got a lot of figures that had a generic kind of Dragon Ball face, and it just had Goku's hair, and that's how you could tell it was him. But these facial expressions, I feel, really captured Goku's likeness and his personality. And I love the hair. I think they're really good. I like the little details inside of it. They kind of, I don't know, just give it more volume and, you know, more of a dynamic look instead of it just being flat plastic. And these are the other 3 faceplates that he comes with. The 2 on the left, as you can see, well, the first 2 are literally the exact same expression. It's just the eyes are looking in one direction and the other's looking straight. Then we have one where Goku's mouth is a little open and he's looking down. And that's made to go with one of the accessories that it comes with. Now, as it comes for the accessories, he comes with 3 pairs of hands, 1 unique hand holding a water bottle, and that kind of goes with that face I was just talking about, where he's kind of looking down and has his mouth really small. And then he has an extra foot that has a little clip on the bottom, so this way you can attach it to the pedal of the bicycle. And then as for the other accessories, he comes with his power pole, as well as the holder of the power pole, and then he comes with 2 baseball bats. 1 straight and 1 kind of angled with a baseball warped around it, simulating that he's hitting a home run. So yeah, this guy comes with a lot of accessories, but I think the main accessory that everybody got this for is the bike. Yeah, and this bike is really nice. It comes with a stand, so this way you can have it posed right there. So when you have Goku on it riding, it won't move, or you don't have to worry about balancing it. And the paint job on this thing is really nice. It's a bright red with the metallic silver accents on the handles, and then the black on the seat and the handles as well. And then we have, I think it says popcorn on the wheels around the rims. So yeah, this thing looks really nice, and it's actually made of really good quality, and it's actually a functional bike. Take a look. Yeah, see? And here's the bike. The bike is really nice. It's actually made of metal, so it's real sturdy. The pedals actually work. So watch, so if I move it, you'll see the tire moving. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Real nice right here too. It's rubber on the tires, so that's nice. Rubber grips on the handles. The seat is just plastic. And then you have a little kickstand, so if you don't want to put it on the stand that it comes with, just like that, lean the bike that way, and boom, there you go. So yeah, this is a nice little accessory right here. It's well built. It's not cheap at all. Go backwards or go forward. Your choice. And here we have him with some of the accessories I was showing you guys earlier. So that little water bottle hand that he has with the drinking face goes together like this. So if Goku's tired and thirsty after a long marathon, you can pose him just like that and it looks great. And in here, this is how you can have him posed up on the bike with the stand. So if you want, you can use the elevated part to kind of have it propped up to kind of have him like popping a wheelie. And it looks really nice, this stand, just putting this together. And I just really like that we have something as unique as this to add to the collection. Alright, well, let's take a look at this guy's articulation. For the sake of showing everything, I'm going to take off his orange vest. It doesn't really hinder any of the articulation because it's a cloth good, but just so you guys can see all the joints and the shifting pieces in the shoulders area, so this way you guys can see that stuff better. So let's just, all you gotta do is slide his arms back, and then boom, that's it. Kind of just shimmy it down. Comes off and comes on pretty easy, so yeah, there you go. So now we have him back at his default settings, just as he came in the box. And as you can see already, if you guys are able to hear that, he's a little squeaky in the shoulder area. I noticed that is the area where he's kind of like the tightest. So you're probably going to want to use some shock oil or put him in some hot water ahead of time. So since we're talking about the shoulders, let's get started there. So he can go past 90 degrees, which is great. And as you can see, the upper part of the torso, there's 2 cuts. He can swivel or shimmy side to side just like that. All right, that's pretty good. Bring that down. All right, butterfly joints. They're okay. He can't really do much because of how the build is in the jacket. So that's about as much as you can go. And I don't want to push it any further because I don't want to risk breaking anything, but here's a top view. So yeah. Yeah, so that's about that. Could be better, but you know what? I'm gonna give him an A for effort. Alright. So it's got double bicep. Bend right there. And the swivel is not on the bicep, it's actually under the shoulder area. I don't know if you guys can see that, like right there. So yeah, so that's how you're gonna swivel his arms around. So yeah, nice and smooth, that part. Yeah, I would just be careful with the shoulder joints just because they seem a bit cumbersome, just the way how he designed this. I mean, it looks good aesthetically and I see what he was trying to do, but I'm not sure if it's the most functional. But like I said, it could just be because my joints are tight. So off that, with the neck, I like the little collar area actually moves with it. So that's really good, and you can look down a really good amount. And you can look up a good amount. Something that I like that they did with this figure is right here on the back of the neck. There's actually an extra piece that goes up. Watch, I'll take off the head so you guys can see. See right there? So this way it kind of covers the gap when you put the head on. That's really nice. But I'm sure that's probably going to cause some problems when we get into the head swaps later. So let's just pop that back on there. Boom. Tilt side to side. Yeah, I really like this face sculpt. Really nice. Really captures Goku. Then he's got good ab crunch. Finally, someone gets it. They know. Can you lean back? Yeah, you can lean back a decent amount as well. And you could rotate them from the waist. Oh, that's real easy. It's not tight at all. So it seems like Tonsen was taking notes from what people were saying from the Tonsenart trunks and the Boo. But they still obviously have some stuff to work on with the tightness. But this is definitely an improvement. And then you can rotate him right there as well. Because this piece is just like a floating piece of plastic. Alright, now as for the legs, let's get his arms out the way. Boom, he can kick real high. There you go, it's smooth too. Not tight at all. So there you go, bow. Boom. There you go. Going again with the splits. Challenge Chun-Li to the spinning side kick. Alright. Thigh rotation, good, not tight at all. I didn't put this guy in any hot water, so this is just how he is out the box. Double knee bend. Really good. Yeah, this guy's solid. There's no rotation at the cuffs like where the socks are for the ankles. But, you know, it's got good ankle pivots side to side. Toe hinge. Can't really go up and down, but that's because of the design of the boot. But yeah, here we go, guys. So yeah, that's his Goku's articulation. I think he's really good, especially since this top piece is a new like design by Tonsen. You know, I really like how he implemented it. Like I said, some things could be better, but you know what? Someone had to break new ground so someone could improve upon it, and Tonsen did that. So there you go. Whoa, hold on, Goku. Hold your hands. There we go. Now for some size comparisons, as you can see, here we have him next to the brand new adult Diamond Goku, and here we have him next to the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Goku. Then here we have him with what a lot of people say is the best base form Goku, which is the DF 3.0 Goku. Then here we have him with another DF Goku, which is the Time Vanguard Xenoverse Goku. And man, I just have to say, we've been getting a lot of Gokus lately. A lot of base form Gokus. I know Goku is the popular guy, the bread and butter of the series, but base Goku is getting a lot of love this year. And I'm not mad about it, because each one has a different take, but who knew you could do so many different versions of the same form of a character? Then here we have him next to the Tonsenart Bojack Trunks, and as you can see, the legs are exactly the same, minus the part with the socks. And then here we have him next to Tonsenart's Kid Buu, and it just felt like it was only right to put them together. And you know, Tonsen is still the GOAT, man. He's still knocking it out. And then for those of you who are curious, here's how the Tonsenart faceplates look up against the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Goku faceplates. And you know, I'm one of those people. I think the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Goku has the best faceplates. I think they're so iconic and they look so much like Goku. But next to the Tonsenart ones, I definitely feel like they give them a run for their money. And then here we have them next to the Demonical Fit 3.0 Goku faceplates. And I think the more serious faces and the smirking face of the Goku faceplates from DF are really good. But the smiling one, I don't know, never really sat too well with me. He looks kind of like cross-eyed. And as you can see, by comparison, Tonsenart is just knocking out the park. Alright, so let's take a look at a couple of head swaps that we can do with this Kami 1 Bicycle Goku. I checked a couple of them off camera as to not waste time for myself or you guys. And these are the only ones that kind of fit on this body, so I'll show you how they look. And the reason, because like I showed you guys earlier, how Tonsen kind of did it is like this protruding piece beyond the neck. So for a lot of the head sculpts, even if the peg does fit, which it doesn't because it's a thicker peg, the whole area for like the neck can't fit because this is too big. So for that reason, you're not going to be able to do a lot of head swaps on this guy or at all. And I'll show you the only way you'll actually be able to get these heads on there. So this is a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Goku. And the neck peg is obviously way too big to fit in the hole here. So what you have to do is you kind of like this piece, you kind of slide it in and then you slide the faceplate over the top, so you kind of like finagle it on there so it kind of rests, and you can't really turn the head on the neck itself, but it will turn from like the neck joint on the bottom. That's how you're gonna get some of these heads to fit on this body. So yeah, as you can see, like, you know, looks good. So if you don't like the one that Tonsen gave you, then you can always opt out for this one instead. I think it doesn't look bad on this body at all. I think I like it. It looks good. But, you know, just be careful when you slide it back out because you don't want the faceplates to pop off. And then the same thing with the windswept hair right here. You can just finagle it in and boom, right there. These, you know, have no problem sliding on. And they don't fall off because, like I said, they're wedged in there. But, yeah, that's another one. So if you don't like the windswept hair that Tonsen gave you, you can go with this one. I actually prefer the Tonsen windy hair better than this one. I know, I just like the details in it better. But alright. Now enough of base form. Let's go with some Super Saiyans. So the recustomed one. This one fits because the neck hole is big enough in order to fit the whole thing. So same thing, just slide it in. Just gotta finagle it. Yeah, see? There. Oh. There. So yeah, this one looks pretty good. I mean, it would look better if the shoulders were a bit wider, but everywhere else, look, the proportions look good. But see, the only eyesore here is that right on the back of the neck, you can see that black piece from the neck going in there. So, you know, That might bother some of you guys if you're trying to have a Super Saiyan Kami 1 Bicycle Goku. Then here we have the Home Studio Super Saiyan 2 head sculpt. This one doesn't really stay on, so I put some blue tack there to kind of keep it, so you can kind of see what it will look like. So yeah, there you go. Yes, it looks so weird. It looks like his roots are coming in, like the rest of the hair is dyed. Also be careful, because I don't know if you guys can see the gap, but you know, sometimes it will split and kind of push off the faceplate. Then here I put blue tack in here as well, because it doesn't really fit, but you know, if you want, you could put Super Saiyan 4 on this body, use the blue tack, and it'll stay on. And I think this is actually a pretty cool look. Don't get me wrong, the head looks big on the body, so it does look a little ridiculous, but I think it's kind of cool. I know it kind of matches the whole biker vibe. And then here, same thing, we're just gonna wedge it in, and this one's easy because the hair sculpt is soft. So just right over. There you go. Yes, it can't really stay on. There you go. I think that's as good as it's gonna get. Yeah, you still see that black piece. The face is kind of splitting a little bit, but yeah. I like this look though too. It looks good. Matches the red boots, red hair, so yeah. And then Super Saiyan Blue. Yeah, there you go. That's as low as you can get it. Still got the funny black hanging at the back. So yeah. And I guess just for shits and giggles, let's try the HM Creation Vegito head sculpt. There you go. Yeah, no, that head looks way too small for this body. Also, the neck looks crazy long. But yeah, so that's how you're gonna get these heads on this body, because like I said, how he did the neck system here, it's gonna not really make it too compatible with other heads. But alright. Okay, so that's my review on the Kami 1 Baseball Boy 01A Bicycle Goku. And overall, I think this is a great figure. I definitely think it's a unique piece. Not sure if Tamashii Nations are going to make something like that. I know they recently announced kind of making like wall art of certain manga covers, so maybe this might be within the realm. But as a figure, there's nobody else actually doing this, and I think it presents a unique opportunity for different types of figures and styles of characters that we normally get. Now, I got mine off a model hobby store. It was about $83 after shipping and taxes, came out to $92, and it came pretty quickly. I got it in less than 2 weeks. I know Omnime also has him up for pre-order, but Omnime takes their time getting orders out, so if you want him sooner than later, I will go to a hobby model store. That aside, using the Dragon Radar and the Dragon Balls from a scale to 1 to 7, I'm gonna get this guy a 5. I really want to give him a 6, but the shoulders really bothered me, and also the design function that Tonsen made that makes it hard to interchange different heads on this body and vice versa. But for the price and the amount of accessories that you get for this figure, it's really tough to beat. It's really good quality. Tonsen really took note on some of the criticism from his previous figures about some of the joints being too tight in the legs as well as the waist. He still has work to do on the shoulders, but you could definitely tell this is a step up from the previous figures. So if you're into collecting and different types of Gokus, I would definitely say this is a piece that you should get, because it will be very unique amongst your collection. But you guys let me know, are you going to go with this variation, or are you going to go with the original one that has the purple vest and the yellow pants? I chose to go with this one, but I think both look great. With that said, I hope you guys found this review informative. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification to be notified when new reviews are uploaded to the channel. Thank you for stopping by my corner of the internet, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.